Well, Frostbite Falls is usually a quiet place, but today is a little different. For today brings the finals of the Northern Minnesota Checker Championships. As you can see, it's a gala occasion in Frostbite Falls. The town has gone sports mad.
Hooray!
And here playing in his usual slashing devil-may-care style is the defending champion, Bullwinkle Moose.
I'll move here.
Ignoring the bloodlust of the thrill-mad mob, Bullwinkle was about to end the game when...
It's a-comin'! It's a-comin'!
It's Charlie Parlor Car.
It's a-comin'! It's a-comin'!
Wonder what's a-comin'.
Last time Charlie yelled, it's a-comin', it turned out to be Halley's Comet.
That thing do again? We just had one 80 years ago.
It's a-comin', I tell you!
What's a-comin', Mr. Parlor Car?
Look, the circus is a-comin', that's what's a-comin'.
It was true. At that very moment, the big wagons began to roll into town. And it wasn't just any old circus either. This was Bumbling Brothers Circus, the smallest, biggest show on earth.
Come on, it's your move, Zeb.
You're right, and I'm a-moving. I'm gonna go watch the circus.
Well, if that don't make a feller sore.
Bullwinkle, don't you like circuses?
Well, certainly, but I had a for sure win. Come on, Rock. I'm gonna give them circus fellers a piece of my mind.
You know, that's what I like about you, Bullwinkle. No matter how little you have, you're always willing to share.
And in a little while, our heroes were at the vacant lot where the circus was being set up.
Gee, look, they got a real lion tamer, Bullwinkle.
Claude Badley, king of the cage.
Don't we know him from somewhere?
You mean his voice is familiar?
No, his face.
There's a switch. Hey, you in charge here?
That's right.
Well, how come you busted up our checker game?
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Wait right here. I get a free ticket for you to the circus.
Well, that's better. Okay, where is it?
Where's what?
My free ticket to the circus.
You're some kind of a nut. Get out of here.
Boy, he sure changed his mind in a hurry.
Yeah, Indian giver.
Ah, there you are.
Just for that, you can keep your doggone ticket.
But I want you to have it.
Nope, now I'm sore.
Well, if you insist.
Gee, Bullwinkle, that wasn't very nice.
Maybe you're right, Rock. I wouldn't want to be a big sorehead. Not with these antlers. Okay, mister, I'll take the ticket now.
You stop bothering me, I'll have you run off the lot, you mooching moose.
Mooching moose! Mooching moose!
Gesundheit.
All right, you gonna give me the ticket or not?
But, my dear moose, I've been trying to. Here.
Are you trying to make a monkey out of me?
No, monkeys we got. A jackass, maybe?
Now I've had just about enough.
So it's not enough you want a free ticket, now you're picking a fight.
There's two of them.
Of course there is. This is the...
Bumbling Brothers Circus.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, we're the Bumbling Brothers.
Hugo?
And I go.
You go and I go.
Yeah.
So do we. Well, that explains it. I guess everything's okay.
Well, that's an odd statement to make this early in the story, for just a few cages away, the circus's ferocious lion tamer was untaming a ferocious lion.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it, Satan. Go ahead, get sore. Yeah.
Good heavens, it's true. Claude Badley, the lion tamer, is really that heel of heels, that king of the crumbs.
Say the name.
Boris Badenov.
Ta-da!
Well, what fiendish plan does Boris have in mind? And why is he tampering with a lock on the lion's cage?
Silly boy.
We'll find out next time in Lion in the Bedroom or the Cat's Pajamas. Well, the circus is in town, and along with the peanuts and popcorn, it's brought a big top full of trouble for Bullwinkle. First, he ran into the twin brothers who own the show.
Hugo Bumbling.
And I go Bumbling.
And I'll be in Scotland for you.
Then later we found that the lion tamer, Claude Badley, is really Boris Badenov, and right now he's busy infuriating a man-eating lion by making faces at him.
Who's making faces? I'm imitating a moose. Pretty soon he'll be a moose-eating lion.
Meanwhile, back at the entrance...
Gee, you mean you're giving us free tickets to your circus, Mr. Bumbling and Mr. Bumbling?
Just call me Hugo.
No, don't call him Hugo.
Why not?
'Cause I'm Hugo.
Hey, that's right. Call me Igo.
Yeah, I go too.
Well, maybe we better go inside.
And in a few minutes, our heroes were walking through the big top looking at all the menagerie animals.
Menagerie my foot, these are for real.
Then there was the circus itself.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
Presenting Bumbling Brothers.
three-ring circus.
I only see one ring.
We put all three inside each other.
It's a low-budget circus.
And now, here are the 4 flying calendars.
-2.
Little trapeze trouble in Winnemucca.
Yes, our heroes enjoyed the acrobats, the jugglers, the elephants.
Let's get on with the plot. When do the bad guys comes in?
And then it was time for the lion tamer's act.
That's more like it.
Ready, Mr. Badley?
Wait a minute, I haven't got the lions ready yet. Okay, boys, put the teeth in the box. That's right.
Yes, so cowardly was Boris that he used only ancient lions with false teeth and made them take out their plates before they went into the cage.
Oh, Boris, you're such a yellow belly.
What are you talking? I could still get gum to that out there.
But there was one lion whose teeth were definitely his own, Satan the man-eater.
Pardon? Moose eater.
Well, Boris went through his act with the old toothless lions.
Up, up, Simba.
Hokey smoke, Bullwinkle. Those lions are so old their joints are creaking.
Yeah, looks like he's using the lion of least resistance.
Boris, they are laughing at you.
Well, that does it. Natasha opened the door of the special cage.
And let Satan out?
Go ahead.
And the trembling Natasha tripped the lever that would open the cage door.
Oh, Boris, aren't you frightened?
Not as long as I'm in this nice, safe cage.
Yes, the fiendish Boris had set Satan's cage in backwards, and when the door opened, the fierce beast leaped not into the cage, but into the audience.
Bullwinkle, the lion is loose.
And he don't creak a bit either.
We gotta do something.
Right.
But what?
Hey, I know.
What?
Let's run.
We can't. We're heroes.
Couldn't we get preempted once?
I know. I'll fly around his head and try to distract him. You take this net and try to throw it over him.
And Rocky launched himself through the air straight at the snarling lion. In a rare exhibition of aerial skill and courage, the plucky squirrel zoomed closer and closer to the cruel jaws, while the milling crowd quickly made its way to safety. Meanwhile, Bullwinkle was edging closer with the net, and then it happened.
What? What happened?
You tripped over the net.
Oh, come on now. Would I be stupid enough to trip over the net when I... Oop!
Bullwinkle, are you up?
Yes, Rocky's kind heart had gotten him into trouble again. Now he lay recumbent beneath the lethal claws of the man-eater.
Moose eater.
Squirrel eater.
Never fear, Rock. I'll think of something.
I don't think I can wait that long.
Well, at least wait until our next episode, A Red Letter Day, or Drop Us a Lion. Well, everybody's supposed to have fun at a circus. But as usual, things are different in Frostbite Falls. Nobody's having fun here. You see, a mean lion tamer named Claude Badley, who bears a remarkable resemblance to Boris Badenov,
Funny how that works out.
has let loose a ferocious lion named Satan into the crowd. They're not having fun. Of course, the circus owners, Hugo and Igo Bumbling, are panic-stricken.
We are not having fun.
In trying to capture Satan, Bullwinkle fell into his own net.
I'm not having fun.
And Rocky the Flying Squirrel was swatted out of the air and now lies helpless under the lion's huge paw.
I'm sure not having fun.
And as for Boris and Natasha...
We're having fun.
Boris, that was one of the nastiest, dirtiest tricks you've ever pulled.
Bullwinkle, do something.
Oh, hey! Hey, you lion! Sir!
It's not working.
I'll have to try something different.
And Bullwinkle did try. He flapped a handkerchief at the lion.
Toro!
He did a tap dance wearing a funny hat.
Do-do-do-do-do.
He juggled 4 balls at two. He threw 1 ball up and down. Nothing worked.
The only thing I got left is my pocket comb.
You taking notes, Natasha?
Notes. Notes. Music. That's it, Bullwinkle. Music. You gotta play something.
Play on what?
Your comb.
Oh.
And Bullwinkle slipped a piece of tissue paper over his comb and began to hum through it.
Bullwinkle, I think it's working.
Yes, the lion removed his paw from our furry hero and began to stalk slowly toward Bullwinkle.
Boris, the lion isn't going to eat the squirrel.
Who cares? He eats the moose instead. That's bad.
Yes, the lion drew closer and closer to the music-making moose. Then Bullwinkle began to play a lullaby. The lion's eyes grew heavy, and before the astonished crowd, Satan the fierce lion lay down, closed his eyes, and went fast asleep.
Hugo, did you see what I seen?
Of course not. It's an optical delusion.
Wow. Bullwinkle, that was sensational.
Down, boy. Down, I say. Get down there, you.
You're a little late, aren't you, Mr. Badley?
Well, better late than never, boys. That was a terrible thing to do, Mr. Badley.
Yeah, shame on you.
One more stunt like that.
And we're going to write you a nasty letter.
A nasty letter? He almost got us ate up by a nasty lion.
You're not even going to fire him?
We can't.
Can't.
He's the only...
Lion tamer we got.
And the circus.
Just isn't a circus.
Without a lion tamer.
So he's got us?
Over a bell.
Hey, wait a minute. You do have another lion tamer.
We do? Where?
Right here.
There must be some mistake. The only feller here is me. Me?
You can do it, Bullwinkle. You'll tame him with your trusty honeycomb.
A sensational.
Idea! You're
hired. But what about
You're fired.
You can't do this to me. I have my rights. You'll pay for this. Mark mine words.
Darling, they stopped being scared of you.
Never mind, Natasha. In the immortal words of Count Dracula, I have only begun to fright.
And Boris tossed a lighted match into a nearby pile of straw and started a raging conflagration.
And a big fire, too.
Don't miss our next episode, The Fire Eaters or Hot Lips. Well, last time you remember, Bullwinkle had astounded the Bumbling Brothers Circus by taming a lion with music. This was sad news for Claude Badley, the old lion tamer, who only tamed old lions. He was tossed out on his ear.
Boy, am I going to make things hot for those guys.
How?
Like I said, make things hot for them.
Oh, for heaven's sake!
Now we gotta.
Fire!
Quick, get the fire hose.
Man the pump!
Ready, men. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
But alas, as the crew started to pump water,
Hokey smoke, the hose is full of holes.
What could have happened?
I'll bet that Mr. Badley had a hand in this.
And guess which hand, Natasha?
The one with the ice peak in it, darling.
You guessed, you clever little Dickens, you.
This is terrible, Rock.
Yeah, come on. We're going to the elephants.
You mean going to the dog?
I mean elephants.
Yeah, think big.
but Rocky had a definite plan in mind. With Bullwinkle's help, he led all the circus elephants to the water tank and lined them up.
That's it, Bullwinkle.
Well, you can water the elephants if you want to, Rock. I'm going to fight that fire.
Yeah, but... Oh, dear. Okay, fellas, get a big snoot full of water. Now, elevation 30 degrees. Right 3 degrees. Range 50 yards. Open fire!
Meanwhile, at the fire, Bullwinkle was just ready to heave a bucket of water when...
Fire's out.
Gee, I don't know my own strength.
Rocky, that was
Sensational.
stupendous.
Super colossal.
Even adequate.
Gee, thanks, Hugo.
I'm not Hugo, I'm Igo.
Are you sure?
Wait, I look in my hat. Yeah, I'm Igo.
Well, fellas, I did it.
Did what?
Put the fire out. I cannot tell a lie. I did it with my little bucket.
No, Bullwinkle.
It was really Rocky.
And the elephants.
Elephants? How could an elephant put out a fire? You could have just told me.
Well, that was the beginning of a new career for both our boys. Bullwinkle as a lion tamer, Rocky as an elephant trainer.
Ladies,
And gentlemen,
presenting in the center ring,
that's this one.
the world's greatest lion tamer,
Bullwinkle.
the musical moose.
Yes, Bullwinkle had a sensational act. To the music of the honeycomb, the lions formed pyramids. They leaped through hoops. They even danced. For a grand finale, Bullwinkle would put his head in a lion's mouth. And for an encore, a lion would put his head in Bullwinkle's mouth.
Turnabout's fair play, I always say.
But there was one person who wasn't sharing in the fun. Claude Badley, the former lion tamer.
Rag flab the deck blagged flab.
Please, Boris, such language.
I'm going to get even with the whole circus, Natasha.
How, darling?
Easy. I go to the fireside book of fiendish plans under S.
S.
For circus.
Darling, circus starts with C.
And you know how it ends?
How?
Kaboom! Look at this.
And as Natasha looked at the plan Boris had in mind, her hair turned white.
Not white, darling. Ash blonde.
Oh. Well, anyway, be sure to see our next Big Top episode, The Show Must Go On, or Give 'em the Axe. Well, the Bumbling Brothers Circus has a new attraction, thanks to the magical powers of Bullwinkle's fabulous honeycomb. For with the music of his tissue paper comb, he has become the world's most famous wild animal tamer.
Come and
See him.
Bullwinkle moose.
And his toe-tapping tigers.
Okay, fellas. And a 1, and a 2, and...
Yes, to the tune of Bullwinkle's honeycomb, the animals did things never before seen in any circus ring. What's more, they seemed to love their trainer. At the end of each performance, they carried him off on their shoulders.
Boy, Bullwinkle, you're sensational.
Okay, fellas, break it up. Oh!
Of course, all the customers loved the act.
Yay!
All except two.
Boo!
And they weren't exactly customers. They had sneaked in under the tent wall.
Snitch.
Come on, Natasha, we consult Fireside Book of Fiendish Plans.
Boris, we can walk out with everybody else.
Please, Natasha, I'm a professional sneak.
So?
I sneaked in, I sneak out.
Of course, the two circus owners, Hugo and I Go Bumbling, were delighted with the new act.
Boys, the circus is simply rolling in that green stuff.
And you know what green stuff we mean.
Spinach?
Chlorophyll?
Money!
Oh, that.
But unfortunately, their relation was short-lived, for as the circus swung south into Nevada and Arizona, they ran into...
Rain!
Rain?
In Arizona?
In Nevada?
In August?
Impossible!
Yes, for day after day, the circus wagon splashed through the mud, or tried to.
Boy, this wagon is really stuck.
Hey, how do we get out of this mud?
Mud? What's mud?
You kidding? It's what you get when you mix earth and rain.
What's rain?
This is rain.
I gunnies, I thought it was a mirage.
But it never rains in Arizona in August.
There is less rain in August than any other month.
Well, how much is there in the other month?
None.
That ought to make August pretty dry all night.
Of course, there's nothing that's less fun than a soggy circus, so the attendants fell off sharply.
Hugo, there's only two people in the audience.
And I got a confession, I go. One of them is my mother-in-law.
That's funny.
Why?
The other one is my mother-in-law.
Of course, it wasn't long before the cash box was empty, and still the circus rolled disconsolately from town to town. But strange as it seems, as soon as it left the town, the sun came out and shone brightly.
Bullwinkle, those rain clouds seem to be following us.
Was it something we said?
And that's pretty strange. I think I'll go up and take a look.
You mean?
Yeah, give me a toss up there.
Right, Rock.
Where are you fellas going?
We're out to lunch.
Okay, Bullwinkle, let's go. Holly!
And Bullwinkle flung the plucky squirrel into the air. Up, up, up he went. But just as he reached the clouds, he happened to glance down and...
Hokey smoke, Bullwinkle. I see it all now.
Well, you should. You're high enough.
No, I know what's making it rain on our circus.
But at that moment, the sharp-eyed squirrel zoomed into a cloud bank and...
Come in, Rocky. Come in, Rocky.
But not a word more could Bullwinkle hear. And what's more, Rocky didn't emerge from the cloud bank.
Come out, Rocky. Come out, Rocky.
Well, things look pretty bad.
Yeah, maybe if I comb my hair a different way.
And even worse, at that very second, million-volt charges of lightning began to flash through the cloud. Don't fail to see our next episode, Loony Lightning, or Nuts and Bolts. Well, in our last episode, the Bumbling Brothers Circus had fallen on hard times. It had rained steadily for weeks and weeks. Rocky, in an attempt to see what was causing the freakish weather, zoomed upward into the clouds.
I can see it all now, Bullwinkle. It's...
But at that moment, he disappeared into a cloud bank, and an instant later...
Jumping G-horse that. He'll be matriculated.
Stunned by the massive dose of electricity, the plucky squirrel was dropping limply through space, a pitiful little furry bundle. Then, just when it seemed that all was lost...
Hokey smoke! I landed in the back seat of a plane.
Yes, a mysterious black airplane had inadvertently saved our hero from a grisly fate.
Hey, thanks a lot, Mr. Pilot. Mr. Hokey Smoke, there's nobody there.
It was true. The front cockpit empty, the black plane flew on pilotless.
And what's more, there's no control.
That was true, too. So it was with a great deal of relief that Rocky saw that the plane was headed for a safe landing on a high mesa. No sooner had the wheels stopped rolling than Rocky leaped from the cockpit.
I gotta get back to the circus with the news. I got...
You got caught. That's what you got.
And Rocky stared upward into the stony features of a huge, scowling Indian. Meanwhile, back at the big top...
Cheer up, Bullwinkle.
The show must go on.
Must go on what?
I don't know, it's just something.
We always say at times like this.
And the show did go on. That night, Bullwinkle's animal act was a tribute to his little friend. All the lions and tigers stood at attention and saluted, while Bullwinkle hummed taps. Then they mournfully spelled out Rocky with white begonias, almost. Meanwhile, in the town square outside, the Bumbling Brothers were unveiling a statue of Rocky made out of genuine... Hey, wait, that's not Rocky.
We know. It's really a Thaddeus J. Schlump.
We added the goggles and tail ourselves.
But why?
We got a special low price.
The statue was already in the park.
The mayor sold it to us.
And he threw in this brass cannon, too.
Now, hold on. The mayor sold you a statue and a brass cannon?
Certainly, it was such a bargain.
We couldn't pass it up.
And here he is now.
Allow me to introduce myself. Mayor Aloysius J. Ward here.
Are you kidding? We already met the mayor this afternoon, and you aren't him.
Well, you met the day mayor, that's why.
And you're...
The night mayor.
I should have known.
And further, if you'll notice the color from my beard,
You're
I'm
also the old gray mayor.
You know, Hugo, I think Bullwinkle's right.
That's impossible.
I think this fella's a crook.
That's possible.
What fella?
Sure enough, at the first hint of danger, Boris had skedaddled.
After him!
And our friend started off after the false mayor, leaving the park to a pair of seedy old-timers.
That certainly don't look like a Thaddeus Schlump I knew, Chauncey.
You mean the tail, Edgar?
The tail I knew about. I just never saw him wear glasses.
And meanwhile, what of Rocky himself? Well, he's tied to a stake in the middle of a mesa, awaiting heaven knows what.
Yeah, what are we waiting for?
We wait for Big Chief.
It's pretty cold out here, you know.
No worry. We build fire for you.
And our hero's captor set fire to a pile of branches on which he was standing.
Hey, you can't do that.
Who say?
The network say, quote, no cannibalism on TV, unquote.
We no eat you, just roast you.
Oh, well, I guess that's okay then.
And the network-approved flames licked higher and higher. Don't miss our next episode, The Fire Chaser, or Bullwinkle Goes to Blazes. Well, when Rocky joined the Bumbling Brothers Circus, he never thought he'd wind up tied to a stake by a band of hostile Indians.
Oh, well, that's showbiz.
Soon Big Chief come. Decide what we do with you.
Well, if he don't hurry, there's only one thing he can do with me.
Huh?
Serve me with an apple in my mouth.
Thought network say no cannibalism on TV.
Oh, it's all right to talk about it. You just can't do it.
That network all right. All talk, no do.
Meanwhile, Bullwinkle, who had been chasing a disguised Boris through the desert, saw the glow of the fire and headed toward it.
That must be him. Should be just on the other side of this big Rocky.
Bullwinkle!
Looks like they're giving you a big league hot foot.
Squirrel waiting for Big Chief to get here.
Well, I'll go see if I can find him. Oop.
You wait too.
Well, if you insist.
But our boys didn't have to wait long.
It's him, Big Chief, skunk who walk like man.
You Sarret. How? And like that?
Blackbird capture squirrel, like you say. Moose just ad lib.
Hey, what's all this about, Rock?
I told you I knew why it kept raining on our circus.
Yeah? Why?
Because those Indians are rain dancers is why. And that big chief fella's been following our circus, doing rain dances every time we wanted to put on a show.
And now we're going to make big sacrifice to Great Spirit. Toasted moose.
And the Indians set fire to the branches underneath Bullwinkle.
Now we have big celebration.
It looks bad, Bullwinkle.
Oh, what the ding-dong, Rock. No use spoiling the party. Live it up, I say. Hey, fellers. A celebration like this just don't happen every day.
You crazy Bullwinkle.
So let's have a ball. Come on, chillin'. Everybody dance.
And hauling out his trusty hummock-comb, Bullwinkle struck up a lively tune. Immediately, the Indians began a wild dance.
Oh, poor Bullwinkle. He's crazy with the heat.
It certainly seemed so, but the musical moose went on playing as the flames leaped higher and higher. And then suddenly...
Bullwinkle, it's raining.
Of course. These Indians are rain dancers, aren't they?
Hey, that's right.
And I figure by now, they got a good cloud burst whipped up.
It's raining. The fire's going out. Stop the music.
Too late. The fires were out cold.
You plenty hep moose. Blow crazy comb.
Thanks a lot.
We gonna miss you.
Miss us?
Sure. Big Chief say sacrifice. He mean sacrifice.
You Sarret, sport.
That voice. Where have I heard that voice?
Maybe he's that Kimosabe feller.
No, he'd have a masked rider with him.
You mean like me, darling?
Great gobs of goo rock. It's him or her.
Okay, boys, ready with the bow and arrows.
They're gonna arrow size us, Rock. What can we do?
Nothing.
How come?
Because the masked rider and the faithful Indian friend are always on the side of law and order.
You mean...
I don't know how it happened, Bullwinkle, but we must be the bad guys.
Funny, we're not wearing black hats.
And Boris's band of Indian archers drew a bead on our two heroes. Don't miss our next harrowing episode of... That's a good one.
Come on. It's the end of the episode.
Oh, boy.
The next episode is Flaming Arrows.
Poor Bullwinkle meets his match.
Harrowing episode. Well, Rocky and Bullwinkle finally found out why it kept raining on their circus, all right. It seems they were the victims of an Indian rain dance tribe, headed by Chief Skunk, who walks like a man.
Or as we know him, Boris, bad enough.
But the information seems to have done them little, if any, good. For in our last episode, they were tied to stakes while the Indians prepared to use them for archery practice.
This seemed like pretty chicken thing to do, Chief.
You kidding? I got orders straight from Great Spirit himself.
Oh, what reason he give for knocking off moose and squirrel?
No reason, it's just policy.
That figure. Well, unless Great Spirit gives sign, it all up with those two.
But at that instant, there was a rumbling roar, and the ground suddenly began to shake under their feet.
Hokey smoke, Bullwinkle.
Great Spirit angry, Chief.
It feels like an earthquake.
Looks like one, too.
Maybe we not supposed to harm moose and squirrel.
Don't be silly. Look, I'll do it myself.
And Boris loosed a flight of arrows at our friends, but he was jittering so much, and so were they, that every one of them missed.
They got charmed lives.
Charmed lives nothing. They just locked in again.
Luck had little to do with it, for that earthquake wasn't an earthquake at all.
That's sure a lovely sound.
It was really the thunder of a herd of circus elephants dashing to the rescue, directed by Hugo and Igo Bumbling.
I love the patter of tiny feet.
We are coming, boys.
Yeah, hang on.
Don't worry, we're not going anywhere.
And the elephants thundered through the camp, scattering Indians in every direction. In a trice, our friends were free again.
But I wonder whatever happened to the masked rider and his Indian friend.
Ayo, Jumbo, away!
Well, I guess that solves our rain problem, Mr. Bumbling.
Yeah, as soon as we arrange room for these Indians to stay in.
Oh, that'll be easy. If we want a room for an Indian...
We just make a reservation. Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, you know that joke?
We know all Indian jokes.
Who you think write Indian joke?
Indian comedians?
Sure. You never hear of Bob Hopi?
Redskin Skelton.
Phil Silver Hill?
Yeah, come to think of it, I'm part Indian myself.
You
Indian?
You never hear of Sitting Bullwinkle?
Good show.
Well, that did it. The tribe agreed not to bother the circus anymore, and Rocky and Bullwinkle were made honorary Indian chiefs.
Now, there's something you not see every day, Chauncey.
What that, Edgar?
Indian chief with bushy tail.
Oh, that not so strange, Edgar. Look next to him.
What?
Moose with feathers.
Ugh.
Well, it looked like happy days for the Bumbling brothers' big top, but it wasn't clear sailing yet. For only a few days later, Rocky was called into the office wagon of Hugo and Igo Bumbling.
What is it, Mr. Bumbling and Mr. Bumbling?
Rocky, you've been in charge of the elephants all season.
Ain't?
Sure.
And you've been working for peanuts.
Right?
Well, if it's good enough for the elephants, it's good enough for me.
Rocky, we got something to say to you.
Oh, no, I don't want a raise.
You wouldn't get it.
Rocky,
You're fired.
Fired? Our Rocky? Preempted, yes. Cancelled, maybe, but fired? Never.
Except this one.
That's impossible. Be sure to see our next indignant episode. It's in the bag, or Rocky gets the sack. Well, there was shocking news for Rocky in our last episode. After having taken care of the Bumbling Brothers circus elephants nearly all season, he was called into the office and...
Fired.
Fired. Sorry, Rocky.
But why?
Well, it was a terrible story the Bumbling Brothers told, and they told it terribly, too.
You see, every week we weigh the elephants.
you know we've always had the biggest ones in the world.
Every elephant at least 3 tons.
It's a rule, 6,000 pounds.
But last week,
Only 5,400 pounds each.
and we got 10 elephants.
Together they lost 6,000 pounds.
Rocky, I hate to say it, but
You've lost a whole elephant somewhere.
So you're fired.
Gee, naturally.
Of course, when Bullwinkle heard the news, he was furious.
You can't do that to my pal. Either he stays or I go.
Oh, it's all right, Bullwinkle. I don't blame him.
Neither do I, but I'm a hero. I always gotta stick by my buddy.
Well, Igo, we got to have a good lion tamer.
And that's me.
So we better keep our lousy elephant trainer.
And that's me.
Unfortunately for our boys' peace of mind, the next week was even worse.
Bullwinkle, this elephant weighs under 5,000 pounds.
Yeah, his ribs are starting to show, too.
Now let's look at this thing logically.
That'll be a switch.
Every elephant eats 2 bales of hay and 50 buckets of water a day.
Not counting snacks between meals.
And the kids feed him about 20 pounds of peanuts. That's about 200 pounds of food every day. They should be getting fat.
Unless they're taking pills.
Bullwinkle, that's it.
What's it?
They're taking pills.
Without a prescription?
Somebody must be sneaking reducing pills to our elephants.
But how?
Well, I give them their hay myself, so somebody must be putting something in the water.
Who gives them the water?
Allow me to introducing myself.
Hey, don't I know you?
Shoo, Mike, I'm Gunga Drain, Indian type water boy.
Gunga Drain? Hey, you're in another adventure of ours. What are you doing at the circus?
Well, we already had the costumes. No use letting them go to waste.
Gunga Drain?
You may talk of ginger beer when you're quartered safe out here with only penny fines.
All right, I know the poem.
I don't like this, Bullwinkle.
Neither do I, but it's the only dialogue we got.
Don't you like Kipling?
I don't know. I just can't say it.
You better come along with me to the office, Gunga Drain.
I can't.
Why?
I think my mommy's calling me.
Your mommy? Where's she?
Where else? In Egypt. Bye.
By golly, Bullwinkle, I think we did it.
We sure did. What?
We got rid of the water boy. I'll bet the elephants will get fat now.
Alas for Rocky's hopes. The next time they weighed the elephants...
Hokey smoke, Bullwinkle. This one weighs under 1,000 pounds.
He does look svelte, I must say.
But we got rid of our water boy.
Let's see. You give him the hay.
Right.
I give him the water.
Right.
Who gives him the peanuts?
The kid.
Then some kid is doing it.
Some kid. Bullwinkle, I'm ashamed of you. I won't believe it's a kid.
Okay, me neither.
Well, our heroes have demonstrated a touching faith in the youth of America. But at that very moment, a diminutive figure wearing a Rocky and Bullwinkle T-shirt was feeding peanuts to the elephants. Peanuts loaded with reducing pills. Don't fail to miss our next episode, A Short Wait for All Seats, or One of Our Trunks is Missing. Well, Bullwinkle might be a great success as the world's only musical lion tamer. But his pal Rocky isn't doing so well as an elephant trainer, for all of his elephants are losing weight at a frightening speed. And what's more, the reason appears to be that they are being fed reducing pills by a little boy.
No, I won't believe that a kid would do such a thing.
He don't know me very well, do he?
Yes, unbeknownst to our friends, the little boy and his mommy were really Boris and Natasha out to destroy the circus.
Bullwinkle, I just can't watch those elephants shrink away to skeletons. I'm going to leave the circus.
You hear that, Natasha? One down, one to go.
You can't leave, Rock. Think of all the little kids who have faith in you.
Yeah, I guess I can't let him down.
But at that moment...
There he is, that mean widow squirrel that won't feed the pretty elephants. Shame on you. Shame, shame, shame.
Please, Ethelbert.
Ethelbert?
I'll give you a hit with mine all-day soccer, you bad squirrel, you.
Come along now.
Ethelbert?
You see, Bullwinkle, even the kids have lost faith in me.
Ethelbert?
Now all we got to do is get rid of Moose and the circus is ruined.
How we do that?
Easy. Tonight is going to be a fake lion in the cage with him.
A fake lion?
Looky here. We get inside this fake lion suit. But instead of jaws, this lion has a steel bear trap with poison teeth.
Oh, delightful.
And when Moose puts his head in lion's mouth, I pull the trigger and... no more Moose. And we got a little something to hang on the wall of the den besides.
You mean lion skin?
I mean moose head.
Sure enough, that night when Bullwinkle entered the cage, there was one substitute lion waiting for him. At first, all went well with his act. Until it was time for the grand finale. Not knowing of the deadly steel trap that waited him inside the fake lion, Bullwinkle bent down to place his head in the lion's mouth. Boris's hand touched the trigger, and at that instant...
Telegram for Bullwinkle Moose.
For me? Be with you in a minute. Hey, Rock. It's from the Bullwinkle fan club in Missoula, Montana.
Don't put your head in the lion's mouth. It's a trap. Weather continues fine. Love, the kids.
A trap?
Gee, Bullwinkle, they saved your life.
Pretty thoughty of them.
Boris, let's get out of here.
I can't. The zipper is stuck.
That's a pretty fierce lion, Bullwinkle. He must be a man-eater.
I know. I just heard the man talking.
I think we ought to give this lion to a zoo.
A zoo?
And the boys did just that. So next time you're at the lion's cage at the zoo, listen carefully. And behind the bars, you may hear...
Boris, I told you to get a lion suit with buttons.
Oh, roar.
What's that mean, darling?
That's lion talk for shut up, you mouth.
Of course, as soon as summer was over, school started and our friends returned to Frostbite Falls. But Bumbling Brothers Circus went on to even greater glory. The elephants got fat again, of course, and the lions did their routines even without a trainer.
I guess Bumbling Brothers Circus is world famous now, Bullwinkle.
Yeah.
I hear they're very big in England.
Of course, there they just call Bumbling Brothers Circus by its initials.
You mean?
Sure. You never heard of the BBC?
No.
Oh.
And with that transatlantic jape, we close another true-life adventure of Rocky the Flying Squirrel and Bullwinkle Moose.
Well, it looks as if our time has just about run out.
Mine must be a little slow.
You got the credits, Bullwinkle?
All on this itty-bitty card. Oop.
We're late again, Bullwinkle.
Right.
Bye now. See you next time.